Hi, I'm Brandy. This is Hound Dog Hollow, and today I'm going to be doing the Getting to Know Me tag that I saw Amethyst Ascension do, and I will leave a link to her video in the description box below. It is 3:20ish in the morning. My husband and son are sleeping, so I'm going to be a little more quiet than usual. But here we go. So it's 16 questions. The first question is, how old am I? I am 34. I'll be 35 in August. Where am I? I'm in Oregon, in the Pacific Northwest, which in my opinion is the most beautiful part of the United States. What's my family like? So I have a husband and a son, a little one. He's 4. It's a pretty good time. So your YouTube name explained. So this is our first home, and we named it Hound Dog Hollow. I probably named it and my husband just went along with it, but there we are. That's the name of my house. It's the name of my business, and it's the name of my YouTube channel. It's probably my favorite place is my home with my husband and son, my property in Oregon. So that's where all the magic happens. Not all, but all my magic. Most of it. How many years a pagan? I'm tempted to say forever, but I was actually born into and baptized Catholic. And then when I was a kid, my mom went to like Christian church. We went to Christian church for a while, but I was very interested in like astrology and my horoscope and tarot cards. I had a teacher in high school, my freshman year, who was Miss Landry, and she was from Louisiana, and she did tarot cards, and it was my favorite thing in the whole world. And so I was always very attracted to it. But I couldn't be that with my family. And so basically when I was 14, a relative caught me reading the newspaper, looking at my horoscope, and told me if I kept looking at that, I was going to go to hell. And it was at that point I decided I am definitely not a Christian, because I don't believe in a God that would damn a 14-year-old to hell for reading a horoscope. Essentially an innocent for such a stupid reason. So I knew I wasn't that, and I knew I didn't like organized religion, and I knew I wanted to practice witchcraft, but it was definitely not allowed. And so while I feel I have probably been one my whole life, and that I definitely knew that's what I wanted to try when I was 14, I wasn't really allowed to do that until I was out on my own for the first time when I was in the military, and I had my own space and I had my own money, and I was able to learn and practice on my own terms. So 14 to 18, so 20 years somewhat, 15 to 20 years. My favorite part of the path. I think this question will change depending on where you are in life and what you're doing. So probably if I did this again in a year, it would be different. But right at this moment, my favorite thing is the feeling of being present in my life. When I honor the seasons and follow the moon, it helps me appreciate what's going on right at this moment. Because a lot of especially when I was in the military, I felt like I didn't have very much control, and I felt like my life was going by without me. So I try never to feel that now. And even though I'm very busy, which isn't necessarily a virtue, I really like to follow the moon and to follow the seasons and to try to appreciate those fleeting moments that come only in spring. You only get to see those brand new beautiful spring flowers for a very short time, and you should appreciate that. And how many of those will you have in your life? Not very many when you look at it. So that is my favorite part, is being present in my life right at this moment by paying attention. Where is the moon? Right now, it's just after Beltane, or Beltane if you want, or Samhain if you're in the southern hemisphere. It is a waning crescent moon. We have Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter retrograde, and those are all markers and anchors in this moment for me. So that's what I like the best about it. If you watch my reviews, you will know that I really hate picking a favorite anything. I feel like it needs context. So if you ask me my favorite stone or crystal for protection, or for motivation, or for whatever, it would probably be different. But I feel like in essence they really want you to just give an answer. So I will say my first stone that I just couldn't stop holding was a smoky quartz wand that I got at the local rock shop off the street from my house. And I love it still, and I really like the feeling that it gives me. But recently I opened my Witch's Moon box and I got a fluorite, and I felt that same warm, comforting feeling just picking it up in my hand. So I would say it's a smoky quartz or a fluorite right at this moment in time. Favorite herb. This is hard for me. It's definitely neck and neck with rosemary and lavender, but I'm gonna say rosemary because I eat it more, and I definitely like it a lot. I don't know, but in lavender I use in almost all of my scents. I'm gonna stick with rosemary, but if I could pick two, it would be rosemary and lavender, and especially the way that they smell when they've been watered on a warm sunny day is just heaven on earth. Totem animal. This is another hard one. I don't know if I have a totem animal. I collect turtles, and I'm super attracted to dragonflies. I have one tattooed on my back, and elephants and bears are all very, very favorite animals. But I guess my very favorite, hands down, number one animal is the dog. And that seems so mundane, but my favorite quote about dogs is, the dog is the only animal on earth that can love you more than you can love yourself, or more than it loves itself. And that to me is true. Dogs are much, much better at compassion and humanity and unconditional love than humans. We could definitely learn a thing. If I had a heart as good as a dog's heart, then I would definitely be doing something right in my life. So I guess I would say dogs, which isn't glamorous. It's mundane, but I will take true love over glamour any day. New moon or full moon? The full moon is so lovely to look at, but for me the new moon is the best, and the reason is it's a new beginning. It's a fresh start. Everything is possible. Anything could be what you want. And I have a particular affinity because new moons are when you can see the stars best. And when my husband takes me camping, we go camping as a family. I love to go out with him in the middle of the night and see the Milky Way above us. It's a favorite. Last year on my birthday, he took me out to, away from light pollution to see the meteor shower. And those are wonderful anchoring moments, and you cannot do that on a full moon. So definitely new moon, because it's a fresh chance. Although I love La Luna in all of her phases, I would compare it to being newly pregnant with all of that wonderful excitement, and being super, super pregnant and you're just like, get out of my belly. But maybe that's just me. Top 2 witchy pagan books. I have a video coming out here pretty soon of my book collection, which is pretty large, but by no means extensive or comprehensive. And I haven't read very many of them. So, as just right now, the ones that have been most useful in my life thus far The Goddess Guide to Love, which is really super pagan, but I've had it for, I don't know, 15, 16 years. And it was just it was one of my first books that really talked about everything in its season and everything in its time, and that's always stuck with me. So that's a really good book, The Goddess Guide to Love. And even though it gets a lot of crap, I love The Witch's Bible by the Farrars. So much really good information that resonated with me. You're free to your own opinion. It was just a really, really useful book for me, and I love it. If I could pick a third, it would probably be Astrology for You, which really, really laid out in the most simple, accessible terms for me what my natal chart meant. So the top two would be A Goddess Guide to Love and Witch's Bible, but if I could pick three, it would also be Astrology for You. Not to say that there isn't tons of other books that have really helped me. It's just those are the ones that stick to my mind, and also that I still have today. What is your heritage? I'm Puerto Rican. I did my DNA, and I'm 13% Native American, 24% West African, and the rest is European, some conglomeration of Portuguese, French, Spanish, and other Europeans. But my family DNA is over 500 years in Puerto Rico. So that's who I am, genetically. 13, element you resonate with most. I hate picking favorites. Okay, so I am a Leo. So I will say fire. I love candle magic. My close second would be water, because a lot of my beliefs are ritual bathing, and there's certain amount of peace and safety and cleansing that you get from running water and from the ocean. Then I like earth very much, more now that I'm an adult, and it's not super present in my natal chart, so I'm very drawn to it. Air, I use so much incense, but I do definitely feel a disconnect. So my sun is Leo, fire, and my moon is Aquarius. And my ascendant, my rising sign is Pisces. But I guess, long story short, fire, followed closely by water, and then earth, and then air. But I like them all. Oracle, tarot, or both. I am going to tell you, I have only one tarot deck that I use. I've used it for over 15 years. I am not super into tarot. I like it. I want to learn more about it. But it's definitely something I feel like I should do, and at times I want to do, but not my favorite. I love my deck, obviously. We're bonded over the years, but I don't think that I could just pick up another deck and do something with it. It's just not my thing. So I would say I have a preference for Oracle, because just about any Oracle deck I can pick up. I usually do only a card spread and just say, like, explore, what does this mean? What does this presence mean? I usually say, what does the universe need to tell me at this time? Or which animal spirit needs to work with me right now? Or which goddess is called, whatever the deck may be. And then I just get the information from there. It's more open. It's more suggestive. And I like the openness and the creativity that I can have with the interpretation with that. This is actually being a long video. Wow, sorry. Are you a closeted witch? For most of my life, yes. And even so, right now, I'm an adult. I mean, I don't necessarily keep it secretive, but I do believe 100% with my whole heart that one of the major, most important things you can do is to be silent. And because, frankly, I don't believe that religion is anybody else's business. It's a spiritual path between you and your idea of divine. And I don't feel like you really need to spread that around. It's kind of like what's that quote from the British TV show? It's like Maggie Smith, who plays Professor McGonagall. It's like, religion is like a penis. It's totally fine that you have one, but don't go waving it around in other people's faces. And I do feel like that even about being eclectic. It's really nobody else's business. I will talk about stuff, and I love my YouTube channel and my friends that I've made here, but I really don't feel the need to just blab about it. I feel like you shouldn't really follow what I say or what I do. You should find what resonates with your soul. So no, most of my life, yes, absolutely. As a teenager, even in the military, it was very not okay. A job earlier in my life had some really crappy situation because a client found out that I was a witch, and was basically made my life hell. So it has been an issue in the past, and so I've just learned to be silent. And you know, I have freedom of religion, but we also have freedom from religion, and so frankly it's none of your business, and I don't feel the need to tell you, and I don't feel the need to hear what you want unless I go seeking for it. So no, but I do value the silence. Do you work with or connect with a specific deity? Okay, I will preface this by saying I do not summon anything ever. I don't like that. It's not my thing. I know other people's thing. That's totally fine. Like I said. Wow. That was totally my husband in his sleep. He's gonna have to edit that out. Okay. Do you work with or connect with a specific deity? I'm going to preface this by saying I don't summon anything. You can do what you want. That's your business. I don't believe in that. I don't want to do that. But I was raised Christian, Catholic Christian. I do have a great fondness for Jesus and Mary, and that religious background. I will say that I do believe that divine is like a greater spirit that we understand as masculine and feminine. Those are the polarities. But every God that ever existed, I feel like, is just one face of the same God, and it's the same for Goddess. So like, I am Brandy, but I'm also a nurse and a mom and a student and a citizen and a United States of America American citizen, Puerto Rican. I'm so many things, but I'm still the same. And that's what I feel about God. And if I was to connect with a deity, if I pray or if I ask for something, I see Jesus and it's Mary. And that doesn't mean that anything else is wrong. It's just my favorite face of God is Jesus. And my favorite face of Goddess is Mary. But I like the horned God. I like him a lot too. I like La Luna and Mother Earth. But when the cards are drawn, if I'm praying, I'm saying Hail Marys. Thoughts? Like, comment, subscribe. Check it out. Do it too. It was really fun. I'm glad I shared this with you. And now I'm going to call it, because this is already really long. And I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching.